All right, guys, well, if you're following along, you know I have a lot of projects started and I'm not finishing them. It's just kind of how it's going. I still have to paint the 395, finish painting the back end. I still want to paint the hay rake. I still haven't done anything with the 560. So the best way to procrastinate is to just start another project. So I'm going to work on the International 45 here. Have some work to do on it. If anybody's interested, that'll be the theme of today's video. We got to get a stand for this wing. We've got to get the jack welded on, and I may paint this quick. I don't think it's going to take too long, and I'm not going to bother maybe with the two-tone white shanks and red. Let's just see what happens here. First I got to get it hooked up and pull it over to the shop. All right, so I don't need to walk around it 200 times. I unhooked it from the 986 here. I have it over in front of the, not blocking the door, but close to the shop. So I got some steel plate here, and I basically want to make that. That is a stand for this wing, so that way it's not laying. I need to make that on that side so it's not laying that far over center, and these are a pain to get. I can't do it with the camera. I need two hands, takes a lot of might, and this one is easier than this side because this side is way over center. You got to lift it up a lot further. So we have these plates. Those are 2-inch wide, these are 3-inch wide. I don't see that it's going to hurt anything. I'm not going to rip. They're the right length. I'm not going to rip the steel. So I want to grind this slag off, and we got to drill some holes. So I want just basically mirror what this is on that side. So let's get to it. All right, and because we've had 300 inches of rain here, there's no chance of starting any wildfires. So let's get grinding here. All right, so this project might get stalled out before I even get going here. I don't have enough bolts that are the right length. I need two more this long. It is late Saturday evening, and nothing around me is open, and I'm not going to go running around just to pick up 2 bolts. So let's do what we can. This piece of pipe is going to be the spacer. Like in there, that's a nice piece of round steel, like a piece of solid piping, but this is just like one of those pipe thread things. So what I'm going to do is cut it to the same dimensions, and we're going to use it. Once it's painted, you won't even know what it is. All right, so this has to be 2.5 inches. I need to cut it here on my SAD vise. Over at the other farm, I have excuse me, I have a 1940s pipe threading machine. That is a beast. It probably weighs a ton, and it also has a pipe cutter on it. But I don't feel like running over there today. This is a rush job. We're going to get this fabricated in no time. So I'm going to use a 1940s handheld pipe cutter. So I'm going to put it in a vise, mark it off, and I have pipe vices at the other farm, not here. So it's all right. We're going to just make this go. As a mechanic, sometimes it is fun to see how much you can do with the least amount of tools. I would, it's probably not on purpose. I'd say it's probably laziness on my end. Why bring the whole service truck when all you need is a vice grip, a hammer, and a screwdriver? All right, so let's demonstrate this old tool here on camera. Like I say, the vise is cheap. It was free. It's a Chinese vise, and it was free because it was broken. So I splattered it back together, and I've been using it ever since. It's not a hammer vise. It's just a hold vise. So 2.5 inches. I can't find my marker, so I was able to find a nail. So that's the next best thing. So we just go around here, and it's going to hit the table. Yep, so that ain't gonna work. When I built this welding cart, I should have had the vise overhang a little bit more. So, yeah, I'll just keep sawing on it back and forth. Yeah, it can get probably... Oh yeah, this way I can get almost all the way around. It'll cut it. Sometimes it's fun to make do, and sometimes it isn't, depending on what you have going. If you have hay laying and the baler breaks, that's not fun, especially if you don't have the tools you need in the field. So, but we're not rushed for time, and we can just play around here. Shop day. So I'll keep cutting this thing. Nope. All right, take two here. All right, so I was able to gnaw that off. It's good enough for what I'm using it for. The next step is going to be to drill holes in this steel plate. 1 inch from the end, I need a 7/16 hole for the bolt and the spacer. So, I am cheap on a lot of things, but drill bits are not one of them. This drill bit set cost me a fortune. And, I didn't have to finance them or second mortgage the house, but they were pretty expensive. I don't buy my drill bits at Harbor Freight, I should say that. But I've had this set for over 10 years, and I've drilled a lot of holes, and I've never sharpened them yet. So we're gonna see 7/16 cutting through this fairly thick steel, see how it does. And just like that, we are through it. No problem. Nothing more frustrating than when you're trying to drill something out and you have a very bad drill bit trying to cut hard steel. Believe me, back in my apprentice days when I was first starting out, I broke off a lot of studs and bolts and everything until you learn the magic mechanic touch to know when to stop right before it breaks. So, I have had experiences and frustrating experiences. I've learned my lesson and got some good drill bits. So, the next thing, I'm just going to lay one on top of the other as a template so we get them in the same place. And today's video is sponsored by Christmas presents. You're not brand loyal when it's free. Anyway, I do have cutting oil, but it's over at the other farm, so maybe we'll just spritz a little bit of 30 weight on there. We'll get through it. Almost there. A drill press would work fantastic. I had 2 of them at the other operation, my other operation, but sold them both, so we'll get there. It's getting pretty serious now. All right, so I drug my welder trailer out here. It has been about 4 or 5 years since I've welded anything. I don't know if that's a testament to how I run my equipment or if it's just I'm lazy and haven't welded stuff that needs to be welded. Probably a little both. So I want to weld those arms on instead of bolting them on. I don't see any sense in, there's no reason that you have to bolt them on. It must have just been an option. If you have a, I don't know if the hydraulic ones were the same, but to save drilling 1, 2, 4 holes and not having the bolts, I think we're going to be all right just welding it on. I'm probably never going to sell this, and this machine gets a ½ acre a year, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. So I got the welder out here, and I don't even know if I have a welding helmet here or welding rods. I should have checked before I did this. So this video is for entertainment value only, not to be used as an instructional video. All right, so using a hydraulic bottle jack, I'm able to hold this side up the exact height as that side. Well, I'm not being fussy with the bracket. I am being fussy that the wings, at least, are the same exact distance in the air with each other. So that's good, 14 3/4 from here to here on both sides. So let me get this clamp down, see how it's going to look before I weld it. I still, even though I'm going to weld it fast, I want to make sure that this is still replaceable, that you can still get it off without having any type of damage. So let's take a look at that. All right, so I am terribly out of practice. I got to get a new end for this too. This is pretty bad. Terribly out of practice. Good thing it's nothing critical. It's a good practice here. I think I'm going to flip it down and weld the back side of it. I think it's going to hold it, but just playing around here. I'm welding on AC. I tried DC minus, didn't work. Too rusty, I guess. I don't know. All right, so I'm not a good welder and don't claim to be, but it is going to be pretty strong. I got it welded on the inside, the outside. I'm going to take my grinder and kind of round the edges, make it look a little more presentable, make it look like that side. I don't know if I can do this on camera. Let's see. Let's get a hold here. Oh, man. Ugh. Boy, hydraulic would be nice. So let's just let it come down. And there it is. Needs some touch up, needs some final work. It's hot. I welded that on for the jack. So let's see if the jack works. All right, so it's on. It does lift. Get that out of the ground. Make hooking and unhooking easier, but To the trained eye, you guys will see what's wrong here, and I just see that now. To put it in the storage position when you swivel it this way, it's gonna hit there. So what I'm gonna have to do, I guess, is take the jack off and set it aside, and then when I'm ready to unhook it, put it back on. I don't know. It's getting late in the day. This project kind of went south on me, but much better. Much better. I can't tell you how much better. So another trick, the way this swivel hitches here, when you're backing up to it, it's always down like this. You don't know how far to get your drawbar. I just stick a little bolt in there to hold it up like that. So I'm gonna do that yet. Turn a 10. I mean, if it, depending on how well you can back to it, this could take 5 minutes to hook this thing up. So it is what it is for the day. Sun's going down. I got everything to put away yet. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll end the video there. Go easy on me. I'm not a welder, and I'm way out of practice, but as long as it holds, we can get a nice paint job on it. Paint and a grinder can hide the worst welding, as you probably heard that before. So all right, thanks for watching. See you later.